Do you have moments when you get totally speechless? Yeah. I had like an epic speechless moment a couple of weeks ago. I was at the grocery store, and this cute little lady in her 60s, she came up to me and she asked me whether I knew what to do with Turkish yogurt. And I said, well, I know this great combination with raspberries and agave syrup, and I showed her where she could find the yogurt. And she went, oh no, I don't want that organic stuff. I'm too old for that. Okay. Well, I know it's good for the planet, but I'm too old for it. Yeah, it can seem a bit mean to you young people that are left here on the planet, but thank you. And then she walked away with a non-organic yogurt. And I was epically speechless. And I've been thinking about this. What the hell should I have told that cute little lady there? And I've been thinking about it for 2 weeks, and here is the answer. And I'm going to share this with you today. Okay, dear little yogurt lady. I might understand how you're thinking. It's hard to make good choices for future generations. But let me just pick up my computer here. I always carry it around when I go grocery shopping, of course, and help out cute ladies. So let me just put it on and start by introducing myself. I'm CEO of a service design agency called Antrop. My name is Katarina Walter. At Antrop, we do research on human behavior, and we help companies and government agencies come up with services that help humans and the future of the planet. And maybe, of course, this doesn't sound like a real job to you, right? Well, let me come back later to what service design is. Dear yogurt lady, it sounds like you are very much aware that the state of the planet is going straight to hell. You may, as well as I do, you know that the temperature is rising and that this is due to human behavior and consumption. I think you heard that we spend the Earth resources as if we had 1.6 planets. And if everyone would have the same lifestyle as we do in Sweden, we would need 4.3 planets. Dear yogurt lady, I guess you're also aware that the UN predicts that we will be around 4 billion more people by the end of this century. So I think it's quite clear that we need to change. We need to do more with less. Dear yogurt lady, I think this decision you have taken here concerning the non-organic yogurt, I think it's too fast, okay? And I'm not saying this to offend you. I'm saying this because I have studied psychology and I have come to learn that the human brain is a bit limited, okay? And not just your brain, mine as well, okay? We have two ways of thinking. A guy called Kahneman, Nobel Prize winner and psychologist, he calls this thinking fast and thinking slow. And he has made a model. It's very straightforward. It's called System 1 and System 2. When we make decisions fast, we have a tendency to make errors, okay? And I see that the lower price on the non-organic yogurt might be an important fact for you when you're taking this decision. But what if we would think slow about this? What if we would calculate what will happen in the future? What if taxes will be raised because of increased health care, due to antibiotic resistance, due to maybe the non-organic dairy industry? What if? Would that have changed your decision? Well, maybe nevertheless. It would be extremely time-consuming for you to do grocery shopping thinking slow about every single decision you would take in the store, right? So, we have to rely on this fast thinking when we go shopping. In fact, research shows that only 20% of our behavior and our decisions are influenced by knowledge and awareness. Scary 80% are done unconsciously. So, what do I want to say with this? I think that the store could have helped you in this situation, because we all have to rely on fast thinking when we go shopping. So what if the store would have placed the groceries that are good for the future of the planet on the best locations in the store? That would have helped you. Or what if the fridge would have given you a big applaud when you picked the good decision, the good product? And did you know that there's a whole field dedicating towards helping us make better unconscious decisions? It's called nudging. Nudging is the positive reinforcement to influence decisions making of groups and individuals. And I'm going to give you a few examples of nudging. By presenting sustainable energy as the default option, 10 times more households go for that choice. 10 times more households. So instead of having to option in for a sustainable choice, you have to opt out of it. Another example, maybe you heard about this, it's the plates. If you have smaller plates, if you have plates that are 24 centimeters instead of 27 in diameter, you reduce food waste with 26% because people take less food. And by moving, we're back at the grocery store, by moving plant-based alternatives from the specialized fridge to be placed next to their meat-based counterparts, you increase the sales of vegetarian products with 50%. They double. Okay, so a lot of good things can be made with nudging. So, dear yogurt lady, it sounds to me like you know that the way you act can make a difference, but you have given up. I understand how you feel. I really do, because sometimes I feel exactly the same way. I can get so freakishly provoked by the state of the planet and that some people don't seem to care. So why should I care? To hell with it all, right? I'm going to buy this freakishly big car and I'm going to start flying to Gothenburg just for fun, even though it's faster to go by train. 3 years ago, I came across an exercise that helped me through these feelings of just wanting to give up. And I want to share this with you here. It's called the 85-year-old. And this is good to think slow about this, okay? So who do I want to be as an 85-year-old? What stories do I want to tell? Who do I want to hang out with? And what am I proud of? By doing this exercise, it became clear to me that I really want to make a difference for me. I want to be able to look back and be proud of the fact that I tried. Even if all the ice has melted on Antarctica, I want to be able to look people straight in the eyes and said, well, I tried. I tried to make a difference. So, it's crystal clear, after thinking slow about this, it's crystal clear for me what success is for me. I don't want to design services for bigger and cooler brands. I want to design services that make a difference. I want to use my 8 hours every working day trying to make a difference. Okay, dear yogurt lady, I know what you might be thinking. She's a designer. She makes things look pretty. She can't make any difference, right? Well, you're wrong, my dear friend. I can. Design thinking, the core of design thinking is understanding and defining problems. And God knows we got a lot of problems that we really need to understand, right? It's about co-creating solutions together with other competences. We need to be more people engaged in this. And it's about prototyping and validating those solutions and quickly learning more and adjusting them. So it's a creative process of solving problems and challenging existing ways of doing things. And if that didn't make it clearer what I actually do, let me give you some examples of what design thinking, where design thinking can drive positive change. This is from Skandia. They are making it super clear which funds that are sustainable and which funds are not when you're going to invest your money or your pension funds. So these are two very small design elements. It's just an icon and it's a checkbox over there where you can filter the list. Small design, simple design, but what a great impact when people start using this. Some might even argue that this is one of the most important things that you can do for the environment, to think about where you place your money. Another example is Adlibris. They have made the environmental friendly delivery a default. And as we saw in the nudging example, if people have to opt out of the environment friendly option, more people have a tendency to go for it. Again, super simple design, interaction design here. It's just a tick in the box, but a great impact. Here we have Uhu. It's a water bottle you can eat. I'm waiting for it to get to Sweden, but they are on a prototype stadium now. For more than 50 years, global production of plastic has continued to rise. And the goal with this design is to create a waste-free alternative to plastic bottles and plastic cups. An average person living in Western Europe or in America, they use 100 kilograms of plastic each year, and most of that is coming from packaging. But this package, it is made out of seaweed. It's totally natural and biodegradable. So this design, I think it will revolutionize the way we buy beverages and hopefully, and more importantly, reduce plastic waste. Another example is the Fairphone. This is a fantastic example of a product where the goal is not only to create a great phone, but also to make a positive impact on how phones are made, used, and recycled. Because the average phone is replaced every 18 months. But with this phone is designed so if you want to upgrade a piece of the phone, maybe the camera has gotten better, you can just buy the new camera part. And if something breaks, you can just replace that part. And in the end, you can separate the different parts, which is good for recycling. In most product designs, we forget about recycling, but it's a very important part. This is Greenly. It's a service that encourages people to use less energy. Of course, you can see that the interface has design, but the interesting thing is that they have used design thinking to really understand what are the drivers of people, what can make them use less energy. And based on these insights, they have applied gamification theory to really engage people in this task. An app called Karma. 1/3 of all food produced in the world is wasted. 1/3. The goal with this service is to reduce food waste. With this app, you can pick up food from a restaurant or cafe that is about to close, and you can save the food from being wasted, and you can buy it for a lower price. So it's good for you, it's good for the planet, and it's good for the restaurant as well. Instead of throwing the food away, they can sell it. So this is not only a service they have invented, but it also is a new business model. And you can use design thinking to create new business models as well. Airbnb. Oh, sorry. Too quick there. Airbnb, they are putting already existing resources to use instead of building new hotels. Isn't that great? I think it's a great example of a movement we will see more of with the sharing economy. Design thinking is used at Airbnb to continuously improve this service to be a great alternative to a traditional hotel. Okay, Changemakers Yard. This is a digital meeting place that will be launched this fall. It's a meeting place for young people that are engaged in changing the world. Research has shown that if you engage when you are young, if you engage in trying to make positive impact, you're more likely to continue as an adult to do this. So therefore, it's important that we create a system in society where we encourage young people to go for trying to make positive change. And for them, seeing that this is something I can do as a career when I grow up. And these two organizations, Ashoka and Raoul Wallenberg Academy, they are part of this big change in so many ways. To mention a few, they help teachers with materials so they can teach kids about social entrepreneurship. They invite young entrepreneurs to boot camps where they encourage them. And soon this digital meeting place, the Yard, will be launched where they can exchange experiences, they can get tools to help them out, and they can inspire each other. A system that I could see be improved with design thinking is the trade of admission rights. My dream would be to use design thinking to redesign this and to make it more efficient for reducing pollution. To be able to change this system, we have to use co-creation, because you have to engage nations, big corporations, institutions, and they together have to come up with a solution. And at Antrop, where I work, we believe that a way forward in this could be design thinking and co-creation. And as I said before, design thinking is a creative process of solving problems and challenging existing ways. And as I see it, it can be used on 5 different levels: interaction, product, service, business model, and system. And I hope that the examples that I have shown you shows you that it can be done on 5 different levels to create positive impact with design thinking. So, dear yogurt lady, it is not about the yogurt. It's about you not seeming to care about the future for us humans on this planet. And it breaks my heart. Because I believe that everyone can contribute to positive change. So go ahead, buy the non-organic yogurt if that you need that lower price, or if you don't believe in organic dairy. But please, I beg you to think slow about where you can contribute to positive change. And let me show you a great model to do this. It's called the sweet spot. If you list what you're good at, what you love doing, what the world needs, and what you get paid for, where your lists overlap, you get the sweet spot. And please, invest your time and energy there. So let me end with a quote. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. And my 85-year-old lady, she really wants to brag about being part of changing the world. And I hope that you do too. Thank you.